Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. It has been a long while since I seen you folks, so welcome back. If you are new here, hi, my name is Shirley Renee. I am the Vibe Goddess, period. So yeah, let's get into this video, shall we? So excited. Even though I will not be smoking in this video, I have to say, please partake with me, a J or 3, and let's get into this thing. You feel me? So today we're going to talk about the Black-Eyed Children. The Black-Eyed Children are first mentioned in 1961. I could be wrong about the timeline, you guys, so do your own research. As I always say, please go do your own research. This is strictly from what I remember. I don't have my notes, unfortunately, so I'll be going off of what I remember. So the Black-Eyed Children are described as paranormal entities that take the form of children between the ages of 6 and 16. These children will come up to your door, the door of your house, or the door of your car, and they will knock and try to convince you to let them in the car or the house. And the number one rule is no, don't let them in. But a few people on TikTok have complained about seeing them. That is what made this video possible today, honestly. I'm going to insert a few clips of different stories, and I want to know what you think below. Do you believe in the Black-Eyed Children? And afterwards, I'm going to give you a few details about how they came about. Okay, so the Black-Eyed Children were initially wrote about by Brian Bethel. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. He was a journalist. He was a writer for Texas. I'm not sure what part of Texas, but somewhere in Texas. And he wrote about his experience, which triggered a line of different people saying that they had encountered the same thing, one being in Portland, Oregon. So he's writing about his in Texas, something happens in Portland, Oregon, they reach out to him, boom, bam, okay. And each time his story was the same. I did watch 2 of the interviews. You know, he seems genuine. He seemed really, really scared, to be honest. You know, and that's most people that say that they've encountered these children. They seem really scared, really frightened. The children he described as well-spoken, almost trained, you know, keen on what to say. He described them as pale and, of course, the black eyes. They don't look at you when they first come up to your door. They will not look at you. Most times, the encounters have said that they have a hood on the entire time until the end, and then they look up at you. They are very persistent on getting into your area, getting into your space, wherever that may be. You know, they're relentless. And it's said that if you let them into your home, bad health and poor luck will follow. So you'll get sick, you'll get, you know, money problems, your house will burn down, stuff like that happens if you let them in. And I've only heard of one encounter where someone let them in, though. So if you can find more, please link them below. I'll definitely update this video. But so now I thought that I would give y'all the stories that I came across that I thought were very interesting. The first one is this lady, y'all. The lady looked like she could be y'all aunt, okay? She could be auntie or somebody's mother. You feel me? She looks like she's not playing no games. It doesn't seem like she's playing, but I'm gonna insert the clip and y'all tell me what y'all think.
Okay, so like I was saying, guys, I'm in my car. It's 11 o'clock at night. It's dark as hell. My street is dark. Of course, you know, we don't have really many street lights, so the streets is dark, you know, and I pull into my fucking driveway, and this kid is just, you know, at my car door mimicking the same shit. Can I use your cell phone? Can I use your cell phone? I'm like, who the fuck is your parents, baby? Like, what the fuck is your parents? Because at this point, I'm ready to call defects, because this little bastard is fucking with me at this point, and I don't want to hurt your baby, but I will. Y'all already know I will roll the motherfucking child. I do not care. So he's still, you know, saying, you know, can I use your cell phone? And I'm like, where's your parents? I'm screaming through my window, because the bitch ain't letting her window down. I ain't dumb. I've seen too many scary movies. A bitch check her back seat before she get in, all that good shit, because you won't catch me slipping. So I'm in the car, and I got my windows rolled up, my doors are locked, of course, and I'm like, where's your parents? And this child is just like, can I use your cell phone? Can I use your cell phone? He never would look up, or she never would look up at me. She just kept mimicking the same thing. And at this point, I'm getting creeped out, but I'm getting frustrated, because it's like, you playing with me at this point. So now I'm screaming out like, get the fuck away from my car. And this kid is just like, can I use your cell phone? At this point, it's getting like robotic. It's like, can I use your cell phone? Can I use your cell phone? Can I use your cell phone? He say that shit 3 times, and then he starts to pull on my driver's side door like he's trying to open the door. What the fuck is going on around here? So I'm like, get the fuck away from my car. And he backs up. His head is still down. He turns like he's about to walk away from the car. He walks to the back passenger side, the back driver's side door, the back seat, like right behind me. And he's like, can I use your cell phone? Can I use your cell phone? Can I use your cell phone? And then he tries to pull that door. So it's like, I'm blowing the horn, like, get the fuck away from my car. Like, at this point, I'm talking with my horn, like, get the fuck away from my car. And he proceeds to do it on the other side of the car. He goes to the passenger side, and I'm watching this little bastard walk up to the passenger side of my door, and he's just like, can I use your cell phone? Can I use your cell phone? Can I use your cell phone? Pull, 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 pull. The fuck is going on around here? Like, I'm in my car, a bitch got her toolie. I'm like, oh my God, it's finna be a whole lot of slow singing and flower bringing for this little boy family, because I'm finna dead his little ass right now if he don't quit fucking playing with me. So I'm like, baby, where is your parents? And he walks to the back passenger side door, head still down. Can I use your cell phone? Can I use your cell phone? Can I use your cell phone? Pull, pull, pull on that door. So at this point, I'm wailing on my horn. Now it's like I'm just leaning on this bitch. I'm just like, ah. So now my neighbors around my house is turning their lights on, trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. Now he's walked around to the front, because I still have my headlights on. He's in the front of my car. Can I use your cell phone? Can I use your cell phone?
Hey, she said that he walked around her. So she continues to say that he walked around her entire car and pulled on each door, y'all. And then stood in front of her car and showed his ass and fled the scene. Like, I can't imagine that, girl. I would just be freaked out, okay? I'm moving. I'm moving. It just would not work for me. I don't like that for me. I don't like that for me. The math ain't mathing, all that. Like, no. It's a no. So, let's get into this second. So the next story, the next TikToker, she does a 10-part series of different stories she's heard throughout her life of the encounters of black-eyed children. I highly recommend you go check all 10 parts out, but I'm just going to put the first one in here because the first one is quite weird. So let's do it.
Black-eyed children series. I'm gonna do 10 parts on this. So story number 1 is a story that I heard many years ago and it shook me. So we're gonna start with that one. This story happened back in March of 2008. A 12-year-old boy was sitting in his mom's truck right in front of a hair salon, waiting for his mom to finish getting a haircut. For the sake of the story, we're gonna call him James. He saw a boy walking across the parking lot. Thinking that it was a friend from school, James started banging on the car window, trying to get the boy's attention. Once the boy turned around, James realized that that was not one of his friends. James stared confused as he saw the boy walk straight towards the truck and stand right outside the window. James caught a glimpse of the boy's eyes and knew that he was staring into pure evil. He then hears when the boy says, "You must let me in." Panicked, James hit the lock button and hid right underneath the glove compartment. After several minutes of this, James finally found the courage to look up and notice that the boy was no longer there. When James' mom came back to the car, she told him that a boy with complete black eyes had walked into the hair salon and had demanded that she give him the keys to her car. Thankfully,
Now, that was crazy because in that video she described a little boy seeing them. And you know, children pick up on stuff before adults. So that's why adults are like skeptics and whatnot. But for the kid to go from the car into the salon in front of all the people and demand the mother give him the keys, like, what? Okay. Anyway, that was crazy. But let's get into this third and final TikTok. Now, this TikToker, I'm not sure. I just kind of came across her video. She's reading, I believe, a story off of Reddit by this guy named Jake, and I guess this is Jake's experience with the black-eyed children. And this one is more for them skeptics out there. You're like, I don't believe it, blah blah. Well, Jake didn't believe it neither. Jake didn't believe it either, okay? So let's see what Jake has to say. And before I play this video, I do want to say that they're sometimes described as having olive skin too. So olive, pale, skinned it. The guy that I mentioned in the beginning that wrote the article for Texas, he described his encounter with them as olive skinned with red hair. So you never know with these kids. You never know. But let's do this.
So black-eyed kids. The mere idea of them terrifies me. It didn't used to. In fact, I didn't understand what the big deal was. I don't know why. I mean, I read the online stories and articles about BEKs just like everyone else, but I just didn't have the visceral reaction so many other people did when reading about them. So I embarked on a quest. I'd show people just how unscary these things were, whatever they were. Who knew if black-eyed kids were even a real thing? I'm the kind of person who needs to see it for myself. I began doing a lot of research online. I looked at the paranormal sites, I watched scary videos on YouTube about BEKs, and from everything I gathered, they found you didn't find them. And it seemed like it was pretty much just by chance if they did find you. So what was I to do? I came up with a plan. I began putting up an anonymous ad on Craigslist. It read, "Black-eyed kids, I am not afraid of you. I want to meet you, 9 p.m. Wednesday, the park bench on the corner of 3rd and Washington. Show me why I'm wrong and I should be afraid." The bench was only like a block from my apartment, so every Wednesday I would walk down there and see if anyone or anything came by. I usually wouldn't sit there, I'd stand back and watch. I'm not stupid, I may not be afraid of black-eyed kids, but I know the internet can attract some nuts. And it did. Occasionally. Nothing exciting enough to write about though, a couple pervs and some teenage kids joking around. So this went on for 6 months and then I stopped posting the ad. The week I stopped, I got a knock on my door. I was sitting on my couch and it was a little after 9 p.m. I don't know how to explain it, but the second I heard the knock, my skin went ice cold. Ice cold. I didn't need to get up. I knew who it was, and much to my surprise, I was terrified already. I was wrong about not being afraid of black-eyed kids. The fear is on a different level, an instinctual primal level. But still, I managed to get up and open the door. And yep, there was a kid, about 9 years old, olive skin, dark hair, solid black eyes, staring up at me. "Can I come in?" he said. I was speechless. After what seemed like an eternity, I responded with a no, and I began closing the door. "We missed you at the park tonight," the boy said. I stopped closing the door. I looked at him, my mind racing. They've been watching me. The boy smiled up at me. It took everything I had to make my arm move again, pushing the door closed and locking it. As soon as I shut the door, I gasped for air. I hadn't been breathing. I sat back against my wall facing the closed door. Knock, knock, knock. He was still there. I waited. Nothing. It took me at least an hour to move from the spot, staring at the door. I didn't sleep that night or the next night. Eventually, I collapsed with exhaustion at my desk at work, only to be awakened minutes later by a nightmare memory of the boy. It's been 6 months. I can't explain the fear that washes over your body when you see the eyes on these kids, and the state of your mind, the way your body wants to listen to what they're telling you, what they're asking. I thought if I told you my story, it would help me get over what happened and warn others. I'm positive these kids are evil, and the people they meet who can't resist whatever power they wield, I don't think we will ever hear from those people.
Talk about tall tales. Talk about tall tales, right? Anyway, you guys, thank you for rocking with me. I really enjoyed doing the research for this video. I really enjoyed putting it together. It was awesome. I love being back. Hopefully I'm back full time. I know I always say that, but hopefully I am. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Hopefully I am, you know. Hopefully I can produce some good content for you guys. And please come back and see your girl later. Okay? See y'all next video.
Sipping Patron on the rocks. Sipping Patron on the rocks.
It's your girl, Shirley Renee, and I'm back with another motherfucking video.